Hi, I didn't see you there. But I did, and I'm here to tell you about this week's episode of Curated with Cassie. Coming up, we go to the most Instagrammable breakfast right here in Dublin. It's delicious. Then Darren Kennedy gives us some top tips for men's grooming, because some, not all, but some, aren't doing it right. And we go to Galway to check out some tailored tweed, and those pieces are absolutely fantastic. Eggs in a cup, eggs on a plate, eggs in your mouth. It is the most important meal of any day, and this place, Daddy's, does one of the most Instagram breakfasts of all time, I think. They do eggs in a cup. That's all you need to know. We're gonna go in and check it out and chat to the owner. I'm here joined by the owner of Daddy's, Colm. Colm, first of all, how long have you been open? Because it's absolutely packed every single day I come in here.
Well, you're just catching us at the end of a shift here now, so it doesn't look too packed, but we're open since the 5th of December.
Okay.
So just over 2 months.
Just over 2 months, and it is the talk of the town. You can't look at Instagram on the weekend without seeing some form of eggs.
Thanks very much. Fair enough. And sometimes you're here as well.
Sometimes I am here. I do frequent here because I absolutely love the food.
Thank you very much.
And not only are you my friend, but I do love the food. And
thank you very much.
I love the menu because you have things like such originals that I guess you'd have when you were a kid, but you can get them here. Eggs in a cup.
Yes.
So let's talk about the menu, why you came up with this kind of one.
I guess the whole thing, and even the name Daddy's, the whole thing was just to kind of nod to comfort food, home food. And I think everybody, especially Dublin people, had that kind of mashed egg in a cup, guggy egg, I think a lot of Dubliners call it as well.
Okay, so as Colm said, the menu is a mix of old favourites and new favourites. In front of me, I have the vegan box tea, which is something that I regularly get because I don't eat eggs, and even though they look delicious, I don't get to enjoy them. Next up, we have the black pudding sandwich, which Colm described as absolutely delicious. Made it glam as well because there's a bit of kale thrown in there.
Yeah.
Some chilli.
Well, that's more that kind of whole kind of thing where you're sitting there and you're looking at, I've got eggs with butter and I've got black pudding. You're like, God, I really feel like I should eat a vegetable or a piece of kale with this. So just sprinkle a bit of that in the middle. Also, like I say, when I cook at home, I have kale plants out the back, so I put kale in everything. So then I actually just started to really enjoy it, and I hoped that other people would as well.
And I think they are. And one thing they're definitely enjoying on the menu is Turkish eggs.
Yes.
Let's talk about these Turkish eggs. You will see them on Instagram. The pictures just look insane.
Yes, they're very, very delicious. And they're not a new thing to Dublin by any means. Lots of different places do them.
Yeah.
It's 2 poached eggs sitting on some garlic yogurt and then some Aleppo butter on top. So some Turkish chilies, called Aleppo chilies, with butter on top, with some mint or dill or something like that.
Delish.
Yeah, dip a load of sourdough in there, you can't go wrong. So that's the garlic yogurt on the bottom, 2 poaches on top, and then the Turkish butter with some mint and sourdough for dunking. You just really get in there and get messy with it.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to get messy with all this stuff.
You can't be like, it's just really,
None of that taste.
Straight in.
The one in front of me right here is one of the most popular meals here. It's the Turkish eggs, which I cannot eat because I don't eat eggs. But cameraman Dermot eats eggs, and Dermot, would you like to come and enjoy this with me? Yeah, squish it all up. Thank you. Only day you're not open is
Mondays.
Monday. Don't arrive on a Monday.
Not right now.
No. Every other day, come in, try the eggs because they're absolutely, everything's delicious.
Thank you very much.
And he's got a good smile.
Oh, sure, look.
Stop. What about mine?
Yeah, no, you look good.
Yeah. Most weekends there's queues out the door. So if you want to come in here and try the eggs in a cup, the Turkish eggs, or the black pudding, which is absolutely delicious, get here early. Now I'm just going to continue. I'm doing some work here, so I have to finish this off to make sure it's, it's good work. Really good work. Yeah, good. I'd prefer if I was in slow-mo, thank you. Imagine.
Like slow-mo.
Yeah. Oh. Men's grooming. It's not a subject I know a lot about, but what I do know is that I think men are being left out when it comes to the beauty industry. Yes, there are products out there, but most men don't know how to use them. And I don't blame them. Well, I have enlisted Darren Kennedy to help you out, to give you some top tips, to tell you about your bad habits and how you can fix them, and also to tell you all about his routine and what products he uses so that you can be more like Darren, because let's face it, his skin is fantastic. Wait until you see. Men's grooming. Now, the word men's grooming just makes me think of Darren Kennedy. So I've got you here because you are the expert in men's grooming, and I want to say Irish men's grooming because that's what I kind of wanted to talk about today, but we were discussing that there might not be too many differences between like things that Irish guys are doing wrong and what guys in the rest of the world are doing wrong.
I think, yeah, like a lot of the mistakes when it comes to grooming are pretty universal. At least that's my experience. You know, I work, across the UK and in the US, and I find that guys who aren't really sure make the same mistakes. And oftentimes the mistakes are not doing, as opposed to like doing less, as opposed to overdoing it. And that's the interesting thing. And you know, I always meet guys, and they might be on the precipice of a special age, shall we say, and they'll kind of say to me, "What do I need to do with my skin? I'm turning 30 or I'm turning 40. What do I do?" And they kind of panic in their eyes because they realize they've done nothing before then. I say, well, calm down for starters, and start.
Like a therapist.
It's kind of like brushing your teeth.
Okay.
Right? If you don't brush your teeth, you're going to run into problems. If you start brushing your teeth, well, these might stop things in their track, and that's the same with your skin. Okay,
so men's grooming tips, or let's start with men's grooming. What's the word?
I'm going to keep it men's grooming 101.
101. I'll leave that to you. Yeah. I'm obviously not that great at men's grooming, to be honest.
Well, I'd be surprised if you were.
I haven't had much to deal with.
I mean, that facial hair. No, I'm joking. Listen, I'm all about keeping it simple. And a lot of guys will like wash their face just with water.
Okay.
But you do need something a bit stronger to kind of clear away dead skin cells, dirt, and sebum, which can build up underneath the skin. I use this cleanser, which I have to say is gorgeous. It's grapefruit, so if you just give it a smell, it's really nice. It's really fresh in the morning when you're in the shower. I use this morning and night, and it just helps, especially with blackheads or any sort of build-up.
Okay.
And you see, you've got to remember, the skin is like, think of it as a 360 approach, as I always say. If you're putting moisturizer on, but yet you're not cleansing your skin, well, then the moisturizer doesn't penetrate as well, and so forth.
Okay.
I also use a scrub. I use actually Kennedy & Co. Purifying Peat Scrub. This is gentle enough to use 4 or 5 times a week. It's all made in Ireland. It's vegan friendly, cruelty free, sulfate free, paraben free. It's all the goodness, and it doesn't cost a fortune.
It's a salad dressing basically for your face.
Well,
doesn't it feel like you eat this stuff?
Yeah, well, look at the colour of it. It's a dark brown, and it's really lightly scented. Women are loving this as well, believe it or not. And what this does is it helps give a deep cleanse.
Okay.
So you're using your cleanser twice a day ideally. You'll also use this maybe 2, 3, perhaps 4 times a week. And that's just kind of like, it's like an MOT or the NCT for your skin. Right, so that's the first thing. Then you want to make sure that you're moisturizing. So A is clean, B is moisturizing. Right? So I'm giving you the ABC.
Okay, good.
I've changed from the 101 to the ABC.
Very good.
Keep up, keep up.
Yeah, come on. This is moving quick. Okay, so for guys, I guess, who aren't regular cleansers, how long do they have to wait until they put on moisturizer, which we're moving to next?
Oh, straight away.
Okay, great.
Just
so you cleanse, dry your face,
and put on your moisturizer.
Perfect.
Yeah, like really simple. Like, I mean, honestly, I do this. I wash my face generally in the shower.
Okay.
And then like the rest of it takes like 45 seconds. An eye gel.
Okay.
Right, now again, I use mine, and honestly, I'm going to say hands down, and this is based on the feedback that we get as well, the product is excellent.
Okay.
And it's really, really affordable. So I'm not just here plugging Kennedy & Co.
I was beginning to think, I was like, no more for your products, but you actually do use it, which is nice to see.
Of course I do. And I developed all this in the labs, and I use all this like for a good year before we went to market.
Okay.
The key with this is, right, so even if you don't use Kennedy & Co., I advise getting a product that has something like this on top. So this is a metallic nib. Why this is advantageous is, well, A, the metallic is always 2 degrees cooler than room temperature.
Okay.
So as soon as you touch here, it's just refreshing.
Yeah.
It feels nice, and that's before you even put the product on.
Okay.
And what you do with this is you're going to take a little bit of the gel. It's really light, and it's because you don't put your moisturizer up to your eye because this skin here is lighter.
Okay.
So you want a lighter product.
Yeah.
So I literally take a little bit of product and I put it on. See here, this cheekbone, or orbital bone as it's called, is where I apply the product, and it's sweeping motions outwards. Do you see that?
Yep.
The reason why I'm doing that, always from the inside out, inside out, inside out, is because here you've got lymphatic lymphatic glands which don't drain naturally.
Okay.
So when you lie down and you're sleeping all night, fluid can build up there, and it's responsible for puffiness under the eyes. So literally, it doesn't drain naturally, so this motion itself is actually helping drain here.
Okay, so people can recognize puffy eyes, you know, that we all get it. So this
Brings
is
down the puffiness.
Okay.
And you've also got caffeine in this as well, which temporarily reduces the size of the capillaries, which are responsible for dark circles.
Then
so basically,
you're
it'll make
beautiful.
you feel fresh.
You feel fresh, and I do know they're really cooling when you put them on your eye.
I keep this in the car. I always have one kind of handy, so if I'm running into a meeting, I'll just put it on. It just kind of peps me up.
Okay, so we've done we've washed your face.
We've washed your face, which is your A. Your B is your moisturizer. Your C is your eye gel.
What's next?
And then your D, I'm going to say, is a beard oil. So beard oil. So if you have a beard, you need to take care of the hair itself because it can be quite coarse and prickly.
Okay.
So you want it to have a nice texture to it. So a beard oil will automatically give a bit of texture to it. It'll soften it. But most importantly with the beard oil, and here's what guys forget, is the skin underneath your beard is never really being tended to because you can't moisturize it on top of a beard, especially if it's thick.
Yeah.
It just won't sink in. The oil does that. So you're conditioning the skin underneath.
Okay.
So it helps against kind of, you can get like irritation, flakiness and whatnot underneath, or beard druff as it's called. It helps prevent that. It helps prevent ingrown hairs. And again, when I talk about this 360, you're keeping the skin conditioned underneath so that your product will go in better.
Perfect. Okay, so if there's one thing to take away from today for the lads who have just started to wash, what is it?
My favorite place to start to wash. Start with a moisturizer and make sure it's got SPF in there.
Okay.
Honestly, it's the #1 thing you should do for your skin every single day of the year. If you do nothing else, that's a good place to start, after you've obviously washed.
Okay, and more importantly, probably start with the moisturizer that Darren's shown us here
Well,
today.
I mean, listen, that has SPF in it. It also has hyaluronic in there. It has vitamin D, it has vitamin E. There's lots of goodies in there. And we get great feedback from this from anyone who has any sort of sensitivity, rosacea, eczema, acne.
And you use it yourself. And I don't know if you've zoomed in on his face, by the way, while we've been doing this. I'm looking at the cameraman here, but your skin is stunning. It is really,
Do you know
really
what?
stunning.
A little bit goes a long way, honestly. Like if you just get into the habit of doing it, you'll notice big differences.
Okay.
You know.
When did you start looking after your skin?
Probably in earnest looking after it in my late 20s, if I'm being
Fine.
totally honest. I mean, I would have one day I'd put on moisturizer, but I might go to it again for another month.
Okay.
And I was really kind of in my late 20s.
Grand, so there's hope, because I don't want you to say you started when you were about 12.
No.
There's hope.
No,
So lads, there you go. That's your lesson on grooming. I actually might take some of these products and groom myself.
Help yourself.
Thank you.
I knew she'd do that.
One Irish fashion brand has been putting its modern spin on tweed since 2014. I'm happy to say that I'm here in the studio in Galway City to meet one of the owners behind the Tweed Project and to show you around this incredible studio and, most importantly, some of the incredible pieces. Okay, so the Tweed Project, let's bring it back to the very beginning. 2014 was the year you set it up. Why, you and your partner, why did you set it up?
So Trina and I were very passionate about our Indigenous Irish fabrics, tweed, linen, and not that it's a fabric, but our Aran knitwear. But we were frustrated with how they were being designed. And so we wanted to design in a more contemporary way for a global audience with global influences. We have a very similar aesthetic, Trina and I, and so we just wanted to celebrate our fabric in a different way, and that's how it came about.
And it seems, well, I put it out there on my Instagram. I was like, fashion in Galway, where do I have to go? Who do I have to talk to? And the amount of people that wrote back the Tweed Project, which is why we're here, which is fantastic. And I hadn't heard of you, but I then obviously saw everything about you guys, and I love your modern take, just exactly what you're saying. So like, inspiration for that, you know, you're taking from, like you said, Irish textiles essentially, and you're making these modern, can we call it, they're kind of like Danish like style essentially?
Yeah, well, it's kind of predominantly maybe that, although nobody's ever really described it as that. You know, one of our collections were caftans inspired by a lot of my travel in the Middle East, so tweed caftans, which people would be like kind of a bit shocked by, and you know, still one of our most treasured pieces. And then, you know, we did the tweed tracksuits again. Everybody was like, oh my God. But we were conscious of leisure wear and the fact that people wanted to be comfortable, and it's been one of our biggest sellers. And now we're doing skirts, mainly for men, in McGee tweed, and kind of celebrating the kind of fluidity of things in fashion right now, which we always have. So there isn't one particular way. Our whole ideology is that the first collection, which is there in the visuals, can always eat into any future pieces. So no piece is defunct. It just keeps rolling and moving, and each piece can still belong to the new collection or the middle collection. So
it all just works.
It's nice you say it's kind of Danish.
I just think because the tracksuits, I'm like, you know, the way the Danish are just so cool in my opinion. So that for me, because the tracksuits stood out. Anyone that knows me knows I wear jumpsuits and tracksuits. So I was like, wow, fantastic. So there you go. That's a new way to describe it. You're ticking all the boxes.
Exactly. Okay.
And I see, like, you know, you have obviously your idea boards and things like that. Does inspiration just come from anywhere, really?
Well, you know, I mentioned that I have the media embargo in here. I was away for the weekend and I was looking at World of Interiors magazine, and I was like, put it down. Just don't look at it, because it was just like so many ideas, you know. So, and the same with Trina, we might mightn't see each other for a few weeks, but we kind of come in at the same thing.
Am I right in saying that some of your pieces are vintage pieces?
So in our new collection, we are buying stock fabric from McGee. So we are not having fabric made for us. We're finding errands like one I'm wearing, as opposed to having it made for us. So this is going to, the environmental climate impact is going to be part of our collections going forward. That doesn't mean we're not going to produce the grey that we had from before.
Making Galway known for its tweed. Who would have ever thought? Well, actually, maybe, but it's fantastic, and I absolutely love the pieces. So thank you so much for your time.
It's lovely to chat to you.
How cool was that tailoring, and how delicious did those eggs look in Daddy's? Also, the top tips from Darren Kennedy. What I took away was start with showering. Then maybe move in or graduate to moisturising. Coming up next week, we check out face modelling and face yoga. It's actually proven to take away a few years off of your look, so you look younger after doing some face yoga. Anyway, namaste right here, and enjoy the sun along the canal. See you next week.